We did go through COVID. To be quite honest with you, the only reason why we made it out was because at the end of the day, Faith as an individual had a full-time job.
So what is your ideal?
No one believes me when I say this, but 0 to 90. Here's why I say that.
Do you realize your role in actually making Richmond kind of a destination?
A little bit.
City?
I think I do feed into a really large ecosystem because honestly, there's no other event in the city that's a paid event in an open park where you can bring in your own food and your own drinks and it's actually okay.
What does it take financially to run these events? Like, so booking celebrities.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering,
Is
have you ever been scammed?
Is this real wood?
Have you ever been scammed?
Listen, and I hope to never ever
Yes.
get scammed.
Yeah.
All the artists that I've ever booked, they also appreciate their money in cash, which is another scary level, right? Because now I have to make sure, one, I don't get robbed, but two, that you don't try to say you didn't get it. And if you think I'm about to cash app or Zelle you $10,000, you done bumped your head. I'm not. Like, you won't have to wait on that, my boy.
Is fake dating?
That's a question?
Yes,
on this podcast? That's crazy. The previous guests that you have are the social curse. Okay, well, if she had X, Y, and Z, all right, that's fine. I don't need to do no because if I didn't know you, then it ends up being me having to go down a rabbit hole. So the social currency ends up me making one phone call. I was like, oh yeah, you was on Rihanna's podcast? How was that? Oh yeah, I thought it was great. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, bet. Ting ting.
And if you hear this and then go on bend your back, go on bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max. Will the DJ please turn up the bass to the max?
What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where you come for me, but you stay for the guests. Today, oh my gosh, we are joined by none other, the one, not the two, Dr. Faith Wilkerson, educator, community connector, and cultural curator. Let me give you a little bit of an intro for the people who don't have the pleasure of knowing exactly who you are. But with over 2 decades of experience in higher education, student affairs, and diversity and inclusion, Faith has shaped the student experience for thousands and continues to be a driving force in Richmond. She's the founder of Unlocking RBA, the event production company that just helped put on the Well Fest, which was a beautiful inaugural, right? Yellow, blue, red. Yes. But you redefine what it means to have fun in Richmond. I feel like you put a lot of these events on your social media. A lot of things that I found out when I started being out and about in Richmond, I ain't gonna lie, I was around a lot of white people, and their events look a little different. So it did take me a while to find us. Yeah. But once I did, most of the time they were, on your page or other people's Instagram. So I saw that social media was the way people were doing stuff. But you, former president of the VCU Alumni Council, are you current board member at Studio 23? Yes. You still board member there? Okay, cool. Yes. And you've been recognized as one of Style Weekly's top 40 under 40 and a Richmond Times Dispatch Woman Who Drives Richmond. So today we'll be unlocking her story from building community on campus to building culture across the city. Miss Faith Wilkerson, thank you. Welcome to the Conversations on Her podcast.
Thank you for having me.
How you feeling today?
I feel great. How you feeling?
Hey, you here? I feel good.
Yes, I am here.
Because you got off work today. You were working because you're a professor at the University of Richmond. Yes. And you teach public speaking.
I do.
And so I know you were hanging out with your students today. 18 to 21-year-olds. And now you here with some 30-year-olds.
Yes,
Will here.
I love it.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's get into it a little bit. Okay. I want to get into the business, but sometimes I feel like people need to know where that started. Okay. Did you grow up here in Richmond?
No.
Are you from New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How'd you get here?
Yeah, how did I get here? I was about to be smart. I was about to make a smart comment. No.
You can.
I was about to say by plane, but no.
Right.
So yes, born and semi-raised in New York, and then my mom remarried, and my stepdad joined the Army. So I began about a good 15-year run as a military brat. So we went from New York to Sumter, South Carolina, to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and then eventually ended up in Newport News. So my last 3 years of high school, I actually finished out there and then came here in 2000 to Richmond and really never left. So I came here to go to VCU and it just kind of stuck. So at this point, lived here for 25 years, the longest place I've ever lived. And the place I call home. New York is home as well, but it's a different type of home, right? When I go back there, I feel the energy, but in terms of where I lay my head and where I feel most comfortable and have the most recollective way back in the day, if you want to put it that way, it's going to be Richmond for sure.
Okay, so how's your parents' impact where you are now? Moving from New York to Richmond, did they follow you here? Are you here? Did you come here with no family or friends?
Yeah.
Like, how'd that happen?
So my mom is actually still in Newport News.
Okay.
She's a mom's mom, right? So she's going to be wherever. She has 2 kids. So I have a little brother. He moved to Columbia, South Carolina. So he's there now. But my mom's still in Newport News. My dad's actually in Atlanta. And so he got to Atlanta after we moved to South Carolina as a happy medium, not knowing, hold my drink. We had some more moving to do. But that was him. So he's still in Atlanta. And so, I see him all the time as well, traveling down there to see him. He'll come up here as well. As my grandfather, his father is actually from Amelia County, which is about 45 or so minutes outside of Richmond. So we have a little bit of roots here in the vicinity.
I love it. And now the question that we got to get out of the way before we get into the business is faith dating.
That's a question.
Yes, of course.
That's crazy.
Of course.
I guess we'll say no because I haven't been on a date. Because dating would mean that I got something on Friday and I don't. So
okay.
No, I didn't know that.
But it's somebody.
No.
It ain't nobody.
No, there is no.
Not in the DMs.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's not a thing. I don't know what world, but for me and my friends, we don't know nothing about that.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd be like, dang, but no.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I want it to become a thing. Like, don't come in there talking crazy. Just, all right.
The people, this is a holistic wealth.
I didn't know because we came out the gate. I didn't know we were talking about that, but no.
Okay. So over here on Conversations Unearthed, we all want to figure out how to turn, and there's a lot of creatives that watch this show. We all want to learn how to turn our passion into profit. So if you don't mind, I would just mind, like, I just would want to know how you turned fun, because event planning seems fun and it seems like you really enjoy it. How did you turn it into a profitable business model?
It's 50-50. Some days event planning is not fun.
Okay.
And then other days it's awesome. I mean, but it's a very high functioning type of job to do. You have to have a very type A personality, meaning the organization, the big picture, but also being able to see the small stuff too, because those are the things that can end up derailing your whole event. I think for me, it was about starting small. Even though my track record, so getting into event planning was something I've done since high school. So I did the homecomings, I did the gym jams cafeteria jams. We used to have.
You were on a homecoming
jams.
Committee with running around with the clipboard.
Prom, all those things. I was on student council, and then getting to college, it was the same thing. I'm doing step shows, I'm doing comedy shows, but just again with somebody else's money, which is always the best way to do it. But then with the unlocking, it was just starting off small. So the first iteration of it in 2016 was just showcasing what events and things there were to do in the city. Because ideally people would see, of course, at that point, social media, Facebook, Instagram was really coming aboard. So people would see us out. Like, how did you learn about this event? Quite frankly, it was Faith doing all the listservs, looking at calendars, looking at marquees, and just people telling me about things. And then being willing to do the non-traditional things, the ballet, the operas, going to, festivals that may not have music that's geared to the Black and brown audience, but still having a time either way. And so I said, okay, I'm tired of y'all asking me, because literally every weekend I was getting text or phone calls. So I'm just going to create this website where it's just a calendar, because we didn't really have one that listed, again, the events that kind of had a vibe. I'll use that word. They had more of a vibe, right? And so eventually it turned from that to, well, I saw this really cool event happening wherever. Let's see if we can do that here. So we just started doing mixers, which was just small hanging fruit, maybe like $5 for the, consumer.
So you charge for those?
Yeah, but just $5. But the mixers, when you walked in though, the idea was to unlock, right, other things around town that you didn't know about. So we were the first ones to, when Yelp came into our market, we were the first ones to introduce Yelp, then Sirius Vodka, and then as well with some other caterers and DJs. So the idea was you come into this event and everything was bookable or purchasable in a local store, ABC or whatever for you to get. And so that $5, it really wasn't covering much, but it was just so I knew who was coming in the room. So again, right, small things, I can say to the caterer, okay, we have approximately whatever people coming. Sirius Vodka, all right, you need to bring at least 6 bottles because whatever the case may be. And so little by little, I just kept scaling up to what worked, because I'm really huge on, if it's not in the bank account, it's not getting done.
And a lot of people say, like, I know somebody came on here who's very, very well-versed in wealth and money. She said that you should always start with the paying client. if you're going to start your own business.
Yeah, potentially, especially if it's something that you can't control. So again, with events, if we are 3 or 4 weeks out and we have the power to cancel, right? If sometimes you can't, sometimes it is too close and you have too much in the works to cancel. But if there's ever a moment where I feel like it's not going to work, I'm going to postpone, I'm going to cancel. So we have a little bit of, because it's not a product, like you don't build a phone and then, well, I already built it. But in order for the person to buy it, you had to build it,
that.
right? So sometimes the events don't stick, sometimes not the event, but I'll do it if, again, the end result is breaking even. I can live with a break even. I can't live with negative, but I can live with a break even, or even if I made $3, $4, as long as everyone there had a great time, I can figure out how to make it better, or if it's something we should completely scrap. So like when you say dating, for example, I will never do speed dating. Like that's not an event that really fits with my platform. I've tried it. No, thank you. The men don't show up. Well, we're not going to go down that path. We're going to go on.
And that's no, but I mean, like, for the people watching this show, including me, because this is a masterclass right now, honestly, from you. It's a lot of creators right now who are trying to throw events, i.e. me, and I am a little afraid to charge because I'm like, if I charge, I don't think people will come.
Yeah. You can charge. I think people need to sometimes be a little bit more realistic about people willing to pay.
Yeah.
And what they're getting for that. So a lot of the events that I plan, I put myself in the consumer's shoes. What am I getting for this money? You know what you do when you buy a ticket somewhere, like, hold up, it's VIP. What comes with that? I just bought a ticket the other day and I was like, that's all I get for VIP? All right, I'm going to do it because, all right. But you tend to count and figure out what am I getting for that dollar. So I think when you look at it from that way and don't go crazy, of course, out the gate, if you have nothing to justify a $50 ticket, then it shouldn't be $50. Okay. Unless you're able to, again, showcase that when people walk in a space. Now, if they're new to you and new to your brand and have no idea what you're bringing to the table, then you have to start working it in a little bit. And that's when being creative is kind of the way to go, right? How do you create videos and visuals that make people go, oh, nah, this event I want to be at? And that's normally how people turn it up a notch, is because they're able to capture whatever they did from that event and really make it seem like it was a time, because it's FOMO, right? That's really what drives events is FOMO.
Okay. So take me through, because we can talk about this and it sounds fun, but it's actually a business behind this. So what does it take financially to run these events? Like, how much are you spending? I would say, well, we can start from the ones back then to the ones now. Yeah. From then, how much were you spending to run maybe a pop-up event or a mixer versus now what you're spending to run a pop-up event or a mixer?
Yeah, the initial pop-ups and mixers that we did, I mean, maybe a couple $100. Again, just to have some basic stuff there, maybe name tags, maybe cups and plate, if I needed something like that, or getting signs and things of that nature, to now where we're spending 10,000+ on most of our events, right? And that's because there's a lot of components that feed into that. So now we have stages, we have security, we have police officers, we have fire rescue.
Well, what was the last event you did here? Well, I know
WellFest would have been the last event. So that was the last hired event. So Unlocking Our VA works in 2 buckets. People can hire us to do their mid to large scale events, and then we also put on monthly events as well. So the last monthly event,
monthly events.
Yeah, so Brunch on the Plaza is one of our monthly events. Okay. The Silent Headphones is our monthly event, as well as a hip hop dance class we do called Cocktails and Choreo, because everyone dances better when they drink. So we do those on like a monthly basis, and then we mix other things in there as, again, faith sees fit. But the brunch, what month is September?
Yeah.
So yeah, we did one in August. That was probably our last large scale one underneath our umbrella. That happens at Canal and Plaza. And so that's one of our larger ones that we do that, cost a pretty penny.
Okay, and then Brunch on the Plaza, you bring a Young Dro here.
Yeah, so our October 19th brunch, which is our final brunch of the season. So brunch runs from March through October because we are outdoors. And then, October 19th, we're bringing Young Dro. And that's another option of what I mean by scaling up, right? So a Young Dro couldn't have happened 10 years ago just because the budget wasn't there for that. It just didn't exist. Whereas now it can, and we can sustain it. And I know what to price things. Yeah. Because even though it's Young Dro, you might think people will drop $50, but then also it's Young Dro.
Yeah.
No disrespect at all. I mean, yes, he has a mixtape about all that stuff, but we're still singing Shoulder Lean, right? There's nothing that's been out that's still on your local radio right now that warrants a 50, 60, 70 versus if it was like a TI. So you see the difference where at T.I. there's a longer catalog, longer span of familiarity with him as an artist. And on top of, yes, he was here for Jazz Fest, but other than that, he hadn't been here, if I'm not mistaken, since me and Kelly actually booked him at VCU. So we're talking a huge span of time when an artist who's major just really hasn't been in this area because we're in a weird pocket, right? So we're in Richmond, yes, but most people go to DC, or if we're lucky, they go to Norfolk because we don't have a Coliseum anymore.
That's how I was wondering, because they just had the Jeezy thing too. Was that that wasn't unlocking, was it?
No. Okay. Jeezy's on a full tour with an orchestra.
Oh, okay.
But again, but even that, right? So Altria happened to work for the vibe that he was putting on. But even then, right? A higher ticket price, but to hear the same songs, but you gave me an orchestra. You told me to dress up.
Yeah.
Events are all about gimmicks. What can I do to make you feel like you're somewhere different that you're really not? We're doing the same thing we did before, but now you got your good clothes on and somebody's playing a harp in Air Force Ones. And I love it. I think it's amazing. And I'm going to give you your $100-something so I can be right here being ghetto fabulous.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. And I just feel like you and Kelly, if anything, I would love to do a show, like produce a show with y'all too, because I love when y'all are like on vacation. I just watch y'all. Y'all are so funny. But post-pandemic.
Yeah.
Financial risks of starting a business. And I guess I should ask, what year did you start Unlocking?
So 2016.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 2016. So
so we experienced, I think
y'all
I
went
know
through
where you're
COVID.
going. We did go through COVID. And to be quite honest with you, the only reason why we made it out was because at the end of the day, Faith as an individual had a full-time job. So that full-time job allowed me to still let Unlocking not sit. So we just transitioned a lot of our stuff virtually. So myself and DJ Mark, we do hip hop karaoke. And so we just brought that to a digital format. Anything to keep us in front of people, right? We would do giveaways. I was interviewing on live business owners that still had things to tangibly sell or do or give, even though we were inside. Anything to kind of just keep a little, little something. But events in terms of large scale, there was no money coming in. Like there was nothing from the Unlocking side coming in. So the sustaining of it and me being able was just, okay, I have a full-time job, so I'm cool and I could just do some little things to kind of, grow. But post-pandemic, when the numbers first lifted in terms of how many people could be in an area at one time, that was to our advantage because I think I mentioned a little while ago the idea of FOMO. So for example, Brunch is a great example of an event that was selling out in the beginning because we had to cap, because even outside there was a certain amount of people that can be in a space. So we were selling out because I had no choice, but that created FOMO. So now you're like, oh, now I gotta hurry up and get these tickets. And then now all of a sudden, but you see, now that I have your attention, it's actually a good event. So now we have the capacity, there's plenty of space for everybody. And so now, oh yeah, I'm getting it. But now the new gimmick is, okay, let me give you these cheaper tickets. The earlier you buy, the cheaper your ticket will be. And so there's just different ways to kind of hook the consumer. And it's not trickery dickery. It's just the nature of the game, right? Everybody does it. It's just what works.
I have so many, like this is I have so many questions about this because it's like, I'm wondering, have you gotten your ideal customer down? Like, what they say in marketing, you got to know what they look like, what colors they like. So what is your ideal
No one believes me when I say this, but 0 to 90. Here's why I say that. I have newborn babies that are out at Brunch Plaza and I have somebody's grandma there at the same time. Like when I do events, I know which pocket is it, right? And the reality is the babies come to Brunch, the babies come to the silent party, the babies come to cocktails and choreo. They may not drink it, so I make sure in each space there's something for everyone. So at Brunch, I leave open grass space so the kids can throw the football around, right? Your kids are free when you come to Brunch. It's intentional, right? When grandma and them come, we let them know there's not going to be any explicit lyrics coming out of the DJ. My DJs don't play any curse words. But then when you come to a silent party, for example, when the parent comes to, they want, hey, just so you know, there's going to be cursing, but also he or she is 15. So they probably singing all those Cardi B verses in the back seat. And it works because even if you don't want to try to have a headphone, it's cool. They can get their iPad and you and the rest of the aunties can have the time of their life while you're here with your kids. So it really is 0 to 90. And really it's all walks of, folks who different jobs, different backgrounds. It's a really wide range of folks. But now the racial background is 100% going to be Black and brown, because again, the type of DJs, the type of music, the type of entertainment that I typically put in those spaces, and that's okay, right? But yeah, in terms of the other demos, $0.99. No one believes me, but people, I've had grandmas celebrate their 80th birthday out there. People come and celebrate their little kid's birthday, Mother's Day.
Okay. And then before we get to the next question, which I want to ask you about your biggest financial win,
Yeah.
I just want to take a pause and just acknowledge everybody who's watching. Thank you for supporting the platform. But if you have any advice for someone who would love to do what you do, start an event planning business, what would be some advice for them? Or maybe like an actionable step one?
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it and just try it, and don't get ahead of yourself. I think sometimes everyone wants things to be so big and so grand. There's nothing wrong with taking baby steps to get it right? So doing something small, and maybe you do sell out. To me, a sellout is amazing. Even if it's 50 people, 100 people, you sold that out. And those 100 people become that testing group that you can ask questions like, what did you like? What would you like to see? And you can email them and talk to them and all these different things. So there's nothing wrong with starting off small. Again, Unlocking started off small. We're talking 75 to 100, 150 people at max at most of the mixers and different smaller events we had. Until we started, again, building up momentum and a name for ourselves. At the end of the day, people have to recognize and be okay that whatever product or service you're offering is exactly what you said it is. Because people will turn cold on you real quick. Real quick.
Okay, all right. Now I want to get into the biggest financial win. Like, what's the most amount of money that you made off of an event?
I mean, I would say Brunch and the one that we did at Browns Island. So that was 2 years ago. We had Fat Man Scoop, Black Alley Band out of DC. Kai, the lead singer of Legacy Band, and then of course Lonnie B and Party Animal KO was hosting. And again, that correlates with the size, right? So I'm on Browns Island, which now holds triple the amount that Kanawha does. So the expectation to make more, of course, is on the table. So that was probably, and it also made me feel really proud of the brand. So one of the things that a lot of other companies or folks do is get sponsors. And so far, 9 years in, I don't get sponsors for Brunch. I don't have anything. And that's a faith problem because I wanted to show that I can do it on my own. To nobody else, nobody was double dog daring me. I just felt like I wanted to show that I could do it without anybody else's money. Also, I don't like collaborating too tough because my brain is very much, I know how I want it to look. So when somebody comes in, I hold on to things a lot. So when you give your opinion or if I have to split something, I don't like splitting things sometimes.
Well, the thing is with sponsors, in the podcasting space, because not a lot of people know how to monetize this space, it seems like a lot of people depend on sponsors. I will say I don't have a big test group in Richmond, but when I do ask people to sponsor in Richmond, it's like, oh, we need your analytics, we need all of this, we need da-da-da. But sometimes when you ask in other states, they just say, how much do you need? So it's,
it's a toss up. And
it's a toss up.
It's anyone. I mean, because again, dollars are tight. Everyone has their hand out. Everybody wants something for something. Right? And so I think in the podcast space, it's funny that you even, in the podcast space, I actually would never venture. People tell me, you need your own podcast. Great. Who's sponsoring it? Because I think for me, that would be the only way I would get into the podcast space. Someone has to put the money behind it. I'm not about to go out here. I don't have time to start from scratch, right? I've already done that with one business. I don't have the capacity mentally to do it again, to grow and then learn how to do all the other, which is why it's hard for people to monetize because now we're in a saturated market. So the only way sometimes to stand out is to have the power names behind you because they're able to elevate you much higher in the algorithm. But for me, for events, is it great? Yes. Some people don't ask so much. They just want banner or whatever. But I really wanted to be able to say, nah, I did that without anyone's, I want to call it a handout, but without anyone's donation. That was just important for me. Now, we about to go into year 10. That probably will be one of the things that changes. I want somebody to give me some money so I could not work hard. Just give me some money.
Well, how do you get the money now if you're not taking sponsorships? How do you make money?
So I don't go crazy. So the way I kind of look at my account, I'm very, very blessed that I don't. So I do get paid from Unlocking, but I allow things. I'm very smart with what I'm spending money on. I buy things that can last for a long time. You know what I mean? I pay a fair wage, but we're not going to cry. I'm not paying your bills. Like, it's here because you enjoy working with me,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
have fun, and there's other perks that come with it. But when the money comes in, again, we're hoarding, we're saving, we're doing things, we're making sure it's there. I'm forecasting, so I know now how many events we're doing, how much it costs. And then really it's a ripple effect. So what we did this month will feed into probably what we'll do in 2 months, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much how we've been able to maintain. Like I said, if it's not in the account, it's not getting done. So if we get close today and something crazy happens, if Dro's money is not in the account, I wouldn't have booked Dro to begin with. So the booking fee was already there, so we good. I don't have to rely on the ticket sales coming in to say, all right, we good now. We can afford to pay them.
Okay.
And that's just a personal preference. Some people do use tickets and bars and other things and sponsorships to make sure they put it all together, but that's just...
You don't take a cut of the bar sales either?
I rarely have bars. So I'll have a bar. I have a little bar, but it's not contributing to much. Only because, again, personal issue. Bars just a lot of work to manage and operate. And with Brunch, we have a system where people can bring in their own food and drinks to include alcohol. And that was intentional because of COVID. So that means you won't have to worry about getting sick because you brought it in yourself. I didn't touch your cup. And we just kept it because honestly, there's no other event in the city that's a paid event in an open park where you can bring in your own food and your own drinks and it's actually okay. And that's what sets us apart. And that's when I realized that's what the number one perk people were excited about. I said, I can't take that away. So there's a bar there that sells all the alcohol, but I don't go crazy. It's all your basic alcohols. People buy it, but I'm talking a couple $100, nothing that. But now that brunch on the Plaza that we did on Browns Island now, of course, like that bar, we dialed that up. And so that was part of it, but yeah.
So booking celebrities.
Yeah.
I tried to book Reginae before, and I get scared that I'm gonna get scammed because it was I guess a manager in her bio. It says for booking inquiries, email this person, and I did, and he emailed me back and said it's gonna be $10,000 to book her, and that's scary. And I'm like, okay, where do I send the money? You know, so I guess I'm wondering how it's been for you booking celebrities. Have you ever been scammed?
Is this real wood?
Have you ever been scammed?
Listen, not yet.
Okay, good. Yes,
I hope to never ever get scammed.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When it happens, I try to make sure it don't. So if your first step, first of all, if it's in the bio of that artist or person, celebrity's IG or Twitter or whatever, normally, unless they got hacked, that is the correct the correct information, right? That because they put that there, they have to put that there. And I will tell anyone listening, always go and check that bio first, because booking directly with this person through whomever their manager, whoever is always going to save you a couple dollars over going through an agency, because they're going to want their 10%, right, for booking and making the connection. However, sometimes it's just not possible, again, when you have a larger artist that's not putting big booking info in bio, right? But no, I mean, it is very scary because most of them want 50%. And again, that's why I say it's important to have that money in the account, because they want it right when you're ready to book, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts. A lot of performers, I won't just limit it to hip hop artists. All the artists that I've ever booked, they also appreciate their money in cash, which is another scary level, right? Because now I have to make sure, one, I don't get robbed, but two, that you don't try to say you didn't get it. So there's small stuff you can do. You know, I always ask, can I do a cashier's check instead? But most people just prefer cash because they can do payouts. But I'll have them sign a piece of paper. I might even sneak a picture when I hand you over the money. And I give out tonight. I will give you a W-9, because no, you getting taxed on this, my boy. I don't know what you thought was about to happen, but I'm not going to be holding the bag for this, money that went out. No. You took it. You take the tax liability for it. So those are things that happen as you scale up, but it's not beneath me. One artist, I ended up booking through a friend who had booked them before, and it connected me with someone who was the plug, right? And everything looked fine, but then they passed me off to someone else. And I said, ho. Thankfully, because of that W-9 I was having, the man fell out. I was able to look up his name. And when I looked up his name, the Instagram came up, and the artist I was booking, they were together. I said, okay, we good. So then I said, all right, well, can I get a drop? Which is, of course, when the artist says, hey, I'm coming or whatever. And I was like, if I don't get this drop, then I know it's up. But then I got the drop. I said, okay, this ain't AI. We good. It's all right. But just only because of that secondary person that was involved in it. So I just tell people, do your due diligence. Don't go if you met some homeboy out. I've had several people like, yo, I could connect you and hook you. Yeah. I don't need brother man. I need the man. Right. Yeah. And sometimes you just gotta know. And sometimes it's helpful to kind of know your market. So I'm trying to think. So when we did Joel saying 10, like I know his brother Twin does a lot of his work. So when people said stuff to me and kept saying Twin, it's not professional. Nobody ever called. But I knew who Twin was because I just know hip hop, and I was like, all right, bet I know who Twin is. So we good now. We fine. He can do. You can give him the money because Twin was like giving the money. And it was like, who was that? And I was like, it's fine. It's his brother. Take a picture when you give it to him, and I promise you, he gonna get the money.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Financial risks.
Yeah.
Of starting a business built on events.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge risk because again, you can lose your butt if you don't balance the budget right.
Yeah.
If you spend too much on one thing, if you are banking on something, making something, a lot of people get tripped up, especially using the third-party ticketing vendors. So if Eventbrite is a great example.
Yeah.
Many times you don't get your full payout until the end of your event. And by the end, we're talking 2 weeks after. So if you're literally holding on to your ticket sales, being able to pay people, you've already done a disservice to yourself because now you have vendors who are waiting to get paid or contractors and all this stuff that have done the work and now they're waiting. So that's why I say for me, it's always important. If it's not, I want to write you the check. I want to pay the invoice when the work is done. I don't want you to have to wait because guess what? I don't want to wait. And so that's typically how I navigate. And I know why I've been so successful because I treat people how I know I want to be treated, how I know I want to be paid. And it's not 2 weeks. Unless, again, you're in a bubble that I know is net 30. So for example, the state of Virginia, any work you do with a state entity is probably going to be net 15, net 30. Cool. I'm okay with that because I know I can sue you. A lot of the contractors that we work with in events, suing me, you ain't gonna do nothing for me. You probably don't even got the money it takes, and I'm gonna spend more money in court. And they know that, right? And that's why some people do shady work because they know.
I'm gonna be quiet on that.
Okay, we'll talk about it when the cameras go off.
Yeah.
But in this, so it doesn't serve a purpose, right? So I always try to make sure, but when people are, you got to make sure you have a surefire way to get it, and you might have to sometimes prioritize who might get paid first, and that's okay. That's not the end of the world, but you have to have conversation with people like, hey, man, I'm gonna make sure I take care of you, but today I can only do, especially if you're like me who does events on the weekends, the bank's not open. I can't. And if you think I'm about to cash app or Zelle you $10,000, you done bumped your head. I'm not. Like, you won't have to wait on that, my boy. So I try to make sure everyone gives me stuff in advance so I can stagger it out and make sure I don't pay stuff until I need to because something might have went wrong. And no, I need $1 off. Yes, I do, because what you told me you were gonna do, you didn't do. So it's a slippery slope, but a lot of people unfortunately just depend too much on those back end ticket sales and that bar, and that's gonna sometimes create a little chaos. It works. It could work.
Yeah.
I just not how I choose to do business.
But do you realize your role in actually making Richmond kind of a destination?
A little bit.
City?
I think I do feed into a really large ecosystem. I think there's so much happening in the city on span, I think across all types of cultural backgrounds and things that people have interest in. I mean, from the festivals, both food and music, to, I mean, the concerts are just upticking. Again, maybe every concert is not, our cup of tea, but they're here, and it's things that people can, tap into. So I do know that I'm feeding into a larger ecosystem, and I do know that I'm creating a community that I'm super proud of. Like, I'm super proud of what has been created the last 9 years.
Yeah, and talking to you right now is really activating me because myself, as well as a lot of other people who have businesses, like there's a lot of different events coming up. A lot of times we don't know how to monetize those events, especially like I do my live shows and stuff like that. And I did take a sponsor for the last one. It was a real estate investment event, and I had a hard money lender give me $500. So I used that to pay production and things like that. But building a community, I think, is something that I have not tapped into. It's kind of like I'm just creating an event and seeing who will come. How do you think my business structure is right now?
But that's how it starts, though. I mean, you have to throw stuff at the wall and see
if it sticks. Yeah.
See who watches, see who's engaging.
Yeah.
Again, I tell people, yes, 0 to 99, 0 to 90, but it's women. My largest audience is women. So I really, truly have to plan stuff. And then if I want men to come, I literally have to ask other men, what brings you out? And really, their number one answer is, oh, my girl.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
so it's still the woman, right? But like something, but now I know we need more men. So what can I do? So I know, all right, next year we're definitely gonna have a cigar bar. Not doing hookah. I
No
refuse.
hookah?
I stand by that. I'm not doing
Why?
hookah.
Wait a minute. I gotta stand up for the hookah
comment.
smokers.
You can stand up for them if you want to, just not in
Y'all
my
in the
events.
comments, can y'all please
Don't stand up. If they ain't coming, so
oh, the hookah
you
people.
want to zoom in? You one of them double zoom. The hookah ain't coming.
Why though?
All right.
Why? Because the people who smoke hookah are not in your community.
No. We're not hookah shaming.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I'm saying is, I don't. It's out of control. The hookah community is y'all want hookah over a nice steak dinner, and I don't quite understand it. But no, first of all, we're in grass. You trying to light some coals over dried up grass.
Well, okay.
But also, no, y'all look crazy holding this in one hand and the stick in the other, dancing the booth. So y'all know how y'all look. y'all look crazy.
How y'all look?
Crazy. Just so you could blow big smoke. And I get it. People bring their hookahs to brunch. We don't not allow it. I'm not selling them. I'm not.
Would you ever bring the city girls? Because the city girls in Saucy Santana, you know they love a good hookah.
Again, if they were there, you're a writer. You can have it in the back.
You can have it in the back, but not on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just not for me. Again, remember, unlocking is also a thing of me. I don't go out looking for the hookah. I just people just go out looking for the hookah.
And people come anyway.
Yeah,
so
but no,
but
in terms of the type of people, there's all types of demos that smoke hookah. So that's not even a slight at all.
Right. It's just
not. It just gives it don't feel right.
Yeah, you standing on this.
I am. I'm saying 20 toes
hill that.
Yeah, I would die on. You hear me? You would never have hookah. I did it once or twice and it was fine. People liked it. But I was like, it don't feel right for me. And if it don't feel right, I shouldn't do it just to appease. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there's things to elevate. But I think you have to figure out, all right, who's listening, who's watching, what are their interests, right? So obviously you have a finance, but you've tried to wrap it back, but the conversations end up being more about life and more about how do you do the thing. And so it's even figuring out, is that the pathway, right?
Yeah.
Really, what is it? What do I naturally gravitate to do? So case in point, I don't do weddings. So most event planners, that's when you think of an event planner, you think of someone that does bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, and weddings. Yeah. I don't do weddings unless I know you. You know why? I need to be able to curse out your mama and there be no beef. Because if you ever been a part of a wedding planning,
it do get crazy.
Everybody wants to have their hand in it. And my brain can't function with multiple people giving me conflicting information. And every wedding that I've done to this day has been, I can't. So if I can't tell your mama, sit down, Miss Johnson, I can't do your wedding. But now if I can tell your mama that in a respectful way, we golden. But Miss Johnson can go tell her daughter, and her daughter can come tell me. Yeah. Miss Johnson, don't come in here. I done sat here and glued whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay. What's your sign? What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an October Scorpio. I want to be very specific.
When is your birthday?
October 29th.
Okay. You almost November. Almost.
Yeah,
November.
But the October's a little different than November. Because remember, Scorpio season starts October 23rd. So I'm in the early part.
And it sounds like you talking about this wedding like you had a situation a few times.
It just, yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it usually ends up being, and I usually have to say, hey, I can't function this way. Like I need one person to communicate with. I can't continuously do multiple because again, usually all the things are conflicting. Okay. So you just have to figure out what is the hill, what are you willing to navigate and which direction you want to go. And then when you find it, you can take off from there. And so there's nothing wrong with just seeing what sticks and what you like and what makes you happy. Because if you're not happy doing it, then you shouldn't just do it because it makes you money. That is no way to run a business.
Okay. And what analytics are y'all looking at? What analytics are you and your team looking at? So, and I'm talking about like social media.
Yeah. They're there. People ask for them. Of course, you can go on the back end of the metaverse and
people ask for them?
So sometimes if I'm applying for grants on the nonprofit side, or if I am looking for different things, so I might get tourism dollars to do certain things here and there. And they might ask for things, or when I'm creating reasons why. So the third part of unlocking, so the first two parts are you can book us, we do events, and then we also promote events and programs and services that are happening in the city that we are not doing. Hence why you can go to our page and every once in a while you'll see. And so we sell that. In order to sell it though, I like to be able to tell people who reach out, all right, other than what you can see with your eyes, how many followers we have, I like to tell people the engagement, the high women population. And that also allows me to, I'll say, nurture a little bit some folks. A lot of emails that I get, people who want to promote, I literally will give them tips on there for like, hey, this visual is cool, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't speak to my audience. My audience needs to have this certain type of look. So it can't be it can't be busy. It can't be, I wish I could think of a good flyer, but we talked a little bit off camera, like how everyone's using AI. AI is fantastic, but now it has that same look. If you like cartoony, very robotic, you can tell that's not a real person. So unlocking, we don't have that on our page. So if somebody were to send that to me as a visual, I would say, hey, is there something else you can give me that kind of does this? And I'll get feedback. And they can say no. And if they say no, great, then this is not the platform for you. But the analytics piece, sorry to wrap back, I like to use that to guide them, if we would be the right space for them. In terms of I know my demo, I use real life. Computers are amazing. For me, it translates who is buying tickets, and when they're there, I'm literally people watching. So the silent party, for example, I rarely have my headphones on. If I do, I might have one on and the other ear back. But for the most part, I am literally walking around because I want to see, how are you engaging in this event? Are you taking videos? Are you just cooling? Are you sitting? What are you doing? Same thing on brunch. I walk around. People have no idea who I am most times, and I love that. And I go up to them, you good? You need anything? You having a good time? Yeah, this is dope. And they don't know why they talking to me, but they tell me all their business. To me, that's my demographic. That's how I gauge who's there. That's how I know it's 0 to 90, because again, I'm talking to grandma. What you doing out here, girl? Girl, my daughter done brought me out here, but I'm like, this is not, because again, they get to sit and be married, and they have a good time.
And unlocking is one way that you make money. But what are some of the other things that you do to create an income? I know you have the University of Richmond.
Yes.
And are you a public speaker as well?
Yeah, so people can book me to host events, keynote speak, do panels, things like that, for sure. So that's one way. I also teach business courses, so that fluctuates. I live in semesters, so but I'll say fall and spring. So I just got done teaching a business course the last, I want to say 3 years, with the Jackson Ward Collective, and now I'm teaching a entrepreneurial business course with Dress for Success Central Virginia, and that's going to be a webinar, and that's been pretty cool as well, because I want to say it's about women from across about 6 states or so that are looking to start up their business for the very first time. And then you mentioned, me teaching at University of Richmond, and then for a little over 25 years or so, I worked at VCU for a very long time. So I just stopped working there back in May. So that was like the combo pack. And so now I just kind of taking a break from working full time, which has been nice. At first I was a little bit worried, just because, but again, when you pour 8-hour day into a business, it really does. You do see the difference when you're able to really pour a full 8-hour day and crank things out.
And for me, I feel like this podcast has gotten me a lot of social currency, not necessarily a lot of money currency. Like I was telling you, I think I made $1,300 in like the last 6 months. So first you were doing this for free. You were doing events for free, learning and things like that. How do you feel about the power of just like getting the experience? Because I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily want to do that. They want to jump in and automatically start getting paid. Do you feel like that is okay, or do you feel like people should kind of do things for free first, build up a Rolodex, and then start to charge? I guess it depends on the person.
Well, not the person, but what are you doing? And what does it look like? Whatever the it is. So I have people that reach out all the time that want to do stuff, and I like paying people. Let me start with that. I don't think anybody should do anything for free. Now, if you want to take $5 off, I'm not going to argue with you. But there's been a significant amount of people who I have not worked with yet, or haven't booked, because I simply can't afford them, and I refuse for them to dumb down just because. Like, no, if that's what you said your rate is, cool. Because I already know you probably discounted it, so cool. I'm going to circle back to you. I'm going to get back to you. So I just think not expecting a lot of money, but expecting something, because you should get something for the effort and the amount of time that you put into creating whatever it is. Also with that comes the honesty. Is what you're putting out worth what you're charging, right? So there's a difference between the person, with Will recording your stuff. Now there's a level there. There's an expectation. I know what I'm going to get. So if you tell me something crazy, I'm like, I'm gonna guarantee you though, because you know it's gonna be quality, right?
Yeah.
Versus someone that just came out of nowhere, you like, okay, well, show me what you did. I mean, I guess, you know what I mean? Like that social currency is important because again, then there's also people to vouch for you.
Yeah.
So me coming on this podcast, the previous guests that you have are the social currency. Okay, well, if she had X, Y, and Z, all right, that's fine. I don't need to do no because if I didn't know you, then it ends up being me having to go down a rabbit hole. So the social currency ends up me making one phone call. I was like, oh yeah, you was on Rihanna's podcast. How was that? Oh yeah, I thought it was great. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, bet. Ting ting. So the social currency is super important and gets you into the door to get something else that could potentially get you that dollar. So there's been plenty of stuff that I've done, maybe not for free, but I know that there's gonna be a trade-off. But I really try hard not to barter. Again, give me a rate. What is it? And it's tough because sometimes that's the only currency you have. But
we literally just had this conversation. Me and Will just had this conversation. Yeah.
Especially if your barter doesn't equal my barter.
Yeah.
So again, Will got to do a lot of stuff. Will got to shoot. You got to set up. You got to record. Then you got to go back. You got to edit. Then you got to potentially don't give me no edits. Will should never take if I didn't pay you, Will, I can't give you an edit. But that just means a lot of people don't understand that though because they already I hired you. Yeah, but you didn't pay my rate. So there's some people I'll say where, or I'll give you a perfect example. I did a baby shower on the strength of some really good friends of mine. And I said, okay, this got to be a group effort because I don't do baby showers typically unless we, you know what I'm saying? But I know that you need it. But if we work together, I'm cool because our currency will match. You want this to look good. And as do I, because if somebody walked in, who the heck did this? You're going to say Faith. You're not going to say my Aunt Joanne. You're going to say, no, I'm not.
You know, black people going to be like,
yeah. And so, but if we work together, then that was, I felt wonderful about that. Like the mom attached me with one of her best friends and me and her best friends rocked it out. And I was like, okay, I can accept this barter because it's equal. The best friend is doing her work. She on Amazon, Faith, whatever. Cool. And then we split it, conquered and divided. But when you start to barter and the barters don't match, or again, because exposure.
And that's what I was saying too. Like a lot of people in Richmond are like, oh, a lot of people who are in the creative space don't know where the money is. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of bartering going on. And my thing is, well, I mean, there could be some money, but you want to barter. Yeah. And that's kind of been the standard for a lot of things that have been going on. But like me and Will was just talking, and Will, you can chime in as well too. But we literally literally just had this conversation. Like I was like, yo, I want to pay you what you're worth. And honestly, I was listening to Earn Your Leisure. I love their podcast. And I know when they first got started, they didn't have money to record. No. So they were like, yo, we gave up a little bit of equity to the video guy so that we could keep scaling up our content. That's what we're doing now, scaling up content. And Will is like very creative in this, in all spaces as well. So I'm like, we could actually be partners. But I said, I want to make sure it's comfortable for you because I'm not going to not pay you. Yeah. Like, and I want to pay you, like you said, and all this is not slight. So we literally, that's just crazy that we just had that. You got anything to add to that?
Like,
no,
he like, keep
it going because that's what's fair.
But again, if you curate relationships and that's what y'all do, I have plenty of vendors that I use. I'm locked in. And when people call me and be like, hey, how much so-and-so? I'm like, you gonna have to call that man. I can't.
Hey,
my rate ain't so great.
Right.
Because again, that equity then because that person is going to be if you ask me, oh, I need a blank, I'm giving you that person first. So that is our agreement that we came up with. But if I don't know you like that and I'm going to pay you exactly what it is. But yeah, some people I see feeling bad. So I do understand how it's tough. But that social equity and making those relationships are so important because again, if you have a large enough network that can get the job done, it creates so much of a better experience for you to execute. And I'm nowhere without the people that I consistently have in my spaces. I don't care. I get judged for all the time. She don't never. Sure don't. Because guess what? I wouldn't feel comfortable giving you the rate I give him. But I can give him that rate because I know he's going to eat next week because I have another client that so it's different. And I can't do that for everyone. That kind of real estate I can't share with everybody. So I do get judged. I know I get judged on it all the time because people like, yeah, they sure don't.
Get judged on not using or only using the same people, not using other people. I would love to have a set amount of people or type of people that like if me and Will could do this every single time.
But you're getting
Because
there
then you
again,
don't
but
have
that
to
becomes the conversation. Again, you have to
explain.
have the conversation. And that's what
Yeah.
I've done with every last person. And these are all people I consider now my friends, right? It started as a work
Yeah.
relationship, but now they're my friends because, again, I had to prove myself in some spaces that I was going to be consistent and that I could deliver on what I said, which was, I promise you, if we can lock this in, anywhere I go, I'm saying your name.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
work. People have gotten gigs off me, and they'll tell you that. They're like, hey, shot it.
Yeah.
Faith got me, you know what I'm saying, 10,000 last week. What you gonna do
Yeah.
for me? And I love that for them because
Sound like
that's
I
what
need
it's
to
all
work
about.
with Faith too. I need a quick
I mean,
little
again, once you
10,000.
figure out what that is, you know,
Yeah.
once you figure out what that is, and if I see you good at it and I feel comfortable vouching
Mhm.
for you, I don't have any problems with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with me saying, yeah, oh, he can't do it, cool. Like, Will's on my list. Like, it's not like I would never, like,
Yeah.
other people, you want somebody, better call Will. How much?
Yeah.
I don't know how much you
I
charge.
don't know how much
Call
you
that
charge.
nigga. Call that
Yeah.
man and ask him,
Yeah.
right?
Let them know I sent you.
Or not.
Or
Actually,
not.
don't.
Oh, actually don't.
Because everyone doesn't deserve to say that either.
Ooh.
Everyone doesn't deserve to say my name. If you called and I out the blue and say, hey, Faith, I'm looking for, because guess what? I would have called Will myself. Hey, Will, I have somebody that's, and would have gave some background. Look, they got a little bit. Don't go too crazy, but don't, like, I would give Will a back end before I even gave that person a name. So usually people text and email that kind of stuff to me, which allows me an opportunity to call that person and say, hey, this person wants you. Here's where we're at. And I'll tell people, hey, they got money. Go off.
Yeah.
That you're prepared for that. So, but everyone doesn't deserve to say Faith. People do that all the time. Yeah, unlocking. And people don't realize they'll do that before I didn't say that. And so that person will call. So if someone says, yeah, because Faith, and Bree might say, hey, so-and-so just called and said, I ain't say that. Why? Now you could work with them. I don't know. It's up to you, but be clear. I'm not vouching for them because if something go wrong, now you burnt my bridge. And I can't afford. I can't afford that. So I'm very particular, and people know. No, I'll call you for that person before I even give the number out. I'm calling to tell you. And if you say, nah, if I can't, cool. And I'm calling the person, say, hey, they ain't taking less than that. Sorry.
Yeah. I just want you to talk your shit real quick.
Okay.
Let's just talk your shit because I think that us as people, sometimes we don't necessarily get a chance to hold up a mirror to ourselves and see how far we've come. So, well, before you talk your shit, I want to know what is something, because you've been on podcasts before. You've public spoke before, you've had Q&As before. What is something that you've always wished somebody would ask you, but they've never asked you? Like, is there a question that you'd be like, dang, I wish somebody would ask me about that?
Oh gosh. Nothing I could think
Nothing you
of.
could think of? Okay.
Nothing, not a question. I think what's crazy is the first thing that came to my head was not a question, because usually it's not a question, it's an assumption. So most people just go with the fact that I'm Black, and so they put me in the Black box, but I'm Black and Puerto Rican. I don't know why that brain, I don't know why that.
Breaking news alert.
It's not really breaking news. It's again, I get it because I visually present as a Black woman.
Yeah.
And so people go left because we racist as a unit. I don't care. Black people can be racist a little bit, but you got light eyes and curly hair. You got to be what you mix with. That's normally what our people do. I love our people.
Right.
But I think for me, that's normally where my brain goes. But I know that I operate in mainly Black spaces. So not that I get offended or nothing like that. I think that's one of the things that I'm always like, oh, I wish more people knew, but I can't speak. I mean, I can understand Spanish. I can't speak Spanish. But there's no other way for me to kind of project that unless you get in my car. Might be some Bad Bunny playing, but.
You know the crazy part about it is, why was that such a shock for me?
Yeah.
Like, it really put me out of my body for a second. Because I could have, I knew from looking at your interview with Creative Mornings, I knew you were mixed with something.
See, look at that racism.
I knew,
look at that.
But I didn't. I was like, is it Indian?
Come on, Indian. I got a little Cherokee.
But it wasn't even your hair, your eyes. It was like your facial structure. You know? That's crazy. All right.
Yes.
Now let's get to the talk your ish segment.
Okay.
I just want you to run down the list. I just want you to run the accolades down.
Oh, I think you did at the top of the show.
I did,
like,
but
the bio is the accolades. I mean, again, I'm a professor.
Yes.
Which I love. I'm an educator first and foremost. I love people. I love connecting people. I think I'm really good at that. I think that I am a ball of ideas.
Absolutely.
She wrote down a couple that I might got to send her invoice for.
No, you got it. You got it.
I think that I think I'm creative. I'm very, 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 very proud of the work that Unlocking RVA has done over the past 9 years. And I think come back in year 10, because year 10, I really want to blow the doors off. And I think that's gonna be my talk here.
Okay.
I have a really good friend named Rock that tells me all the time I don't talk trash enough. And he hates that for me. But I don't, because I feel like the moment that I lose my sense of center and humbleness, all of this goes out the door. I think people who tend to be typically a little bit more cocky, a little bit more flashy, a little bit more, again, what they say, if I won a lotto, there'd be signs. There's certain signs that Faith is doing all right. There's certain signs that I just slide in that people are, oh, I see you. Like, see me.
Yeah. See me.
Yeah, but it's hard. I think it's almost tough sometimes for me to talk my shit, which is terrible because I should do it more. But
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why I enjoy social media, because you could do it and just kind of Homer Simpson, right? Just drop it and then it's done. And to me, that's when I scroll back. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Did that too. Yeah, I won that. I won that too.
Yeah.
I'm about to do this, do that too. Like even this, like this is dope to me. Like, all right, yep, I was on there.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's tough for me to like really go, yeah, I should have looked at other people's talk their shit. What Nicole say? Look.
No, this is the first one that we've done, except for at the event.
That's right. That's why I heard it. Yeah.
And I actually pulled that from T.S. Madison's. I love when she do, because she have people on and it's people on that you don't necessarily know exactly what they've done. Like they'll be like, I won this award, and I'll be like, dang, I didn't even know that about this person who I've been watching on TV for 30 years.
Yeah.
And you're such a staple in the community. It's like I feel like at this point it's not even talking your shit. It's just really just running down your resume. It's a respect that comes with having you on here, and I don't take that lightly. So you know what I'm saying, you really could be on the socials like, yep, I'm here.
I know. Yeah,
I'm here with T.I. I'm here with Saint and Trap Choir in the back. Yep.
And I just like posted it and think it's dope. So I call it spending McDonald's money. Like we're Ashley booking the Saint Trap Choir, that's her McDonald's money. Young Dro was my McDonald's money. When I booked Memphis Bleak, nobody cared but me. I did not care. That was my McDonald's money, and I had a time of my life at Memphis Bleak. Didn't matter if nobody cared. What? I had a good time. You know what I mean? Because it's what I want to do with the money. I work hard. It's what I want to spend money on. Y'all are just here as background guests. I appreciate y'all. Because Dro, like, I'm about to rap my whole entire life out, right?
Yeah.
But that's just me. But I enjoy it. I do. I know that not a lot of women that do what I do in this area either, which is amazing that we're able to hold our own and do it, and do it well.
Yeah.
And I love that I'm able to say that, it's been successful, because a lot of people can't. So that's my talk, my shit. I am a successful woman-owned business.
Yeah.
That has made it, that is successfully being able to support her life. Like Unlocking RVA pays me. It pays some of the bills. Heck, it pays my health insurance now. Look at me.
Look at that.
God. Look at God. So
that's how you literally the embodiment of what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to have my business pay for something.
That first auto deposit, that's it. And it's crazy because you're the one approving the. I love that for me. I was like, oh yeah, approved. Put that, signing the checks, payroll through. I appreciate that. So it was dope. So I think for me being able to say, literally, I am really a business owner. Like, we're not just operating in Cash App. We operating in actual systems. Like when I started using ADP, I said, oh, I made it. I'm using ADP for my payroll. Y'all can't tell me nothing.
High level, high level, not eye level.
Right.
How can community members support beyond just showing up?
Yeah, I think overall, like I said, now in year 10, I am looking for people who want to pour in financially. We love that, just because there are things that I would love to elevate to. And mainly it's artists, because again, people are trying to make up for COVID, right? So these numbers are up there. So a lot of the artists people would love for me to bring. It's just not quite possible because we need some sort of funding to kind of offset some of those deposits, stuff like that. Spaces, like if people have spaces and places, one of the wonderful things about Unlocking is that we enjoy coming in and showcasing spaces that are not getting the love they deserve. So Kanawha Plaza is a great example of that. The city did a full renovation, but nobody knew that you can, one, rent it, and two, it's a public park. So even if you just want to come in and sit and have a good time, you can do that. They just thought it was, I don't know what people thought it was, to be honest with you. So if people have places and spaces they want us to kind of activate, that's like our thing. And then collaboration. Always open to collaborate and work with people, but, hire us. Like if you, looking to elevate, you just tired of doing stuff. We're the company for you.
Yeah. Do you work with promoters at all?
Define promoter, which I am not.
Define a promoter?
Give me an example of what you mean by
I can only say one time I was walking in White Oak and somebody with a really nice outfit on handed me a flyer and told me to show up at an event, or somebody will be promoting for a certain space.
I'm just being extra. The word promote an event planner, it gets, I just say a promoter because promoter to me.
Okay.
I'm also, okay, so I hit my mic. I'm also I'm from a different era. So promoter meant something different than an event planner for me.
Gotcha.
But in this day and age, it ebbs and flows. So yes, the answer is yes. I'm being silly, but yes, the answer
and
is
I
yes.
knew that. I knew it was two different things.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, do you work?
It's okay. No, I do. And usually with promoters, it ends up being, Faith, can we put this on the platform, right? So the people that are doing promoters, and I call a promoter, they're just going in, they're just hitting you with stuff. They care about the demo, but they already know like we locked in. And so that's it. There really isn't, we're not changing the recipe. That's usually when I think about a promoter, the recipe is the recipe. Like, we got this, A, B, and C. All right, boom, let's get it done. And it's nonstop rollout of things. And so, yeah, usually the way unlocking pops in is we're able to market that event for them, or they might hire us for some part of the event to do. It could vary.
So you've been hired for promotions before?
Yeah. So again, people can pay us to put their events and services and businesses on our socials or in our newsletters. So we've had plenty of people who pay our rate to we just promote it, and it's all good. Like, especially again, if they're looking for a different demographic, right? Mm-hmm. They're looking for more women or looking to get a more professional demographic, or have an event and like, yo, this ain't us, but we want to do it, but we need to pull some other folks so people can book and put stuff on our page. So
this is like my last question. Mm-hmm. What is something you want to ban from events, from all events?
Hookah. No.
Other than hookah, we already banned hookah. No more hookah.
What do I want to ban?
Like, you just don't want to see it no more. It's just irritating. I would like to ban $1,800 sections.
So, okay. So when you say that,
tell me that.
That's a club for me. That's not an event.
Oh, okay. I got to
So you see, my mind just separates things differently. And that's just me, because when you say, so yes, VIP areas, but, and I say but because maybe not $1,800, but I need something, because I'm an old lady now. I like to be able to sit on the couch and I want to drink. And if I want to jump up and be like, hey, because see, I leave my section. I'm not one of those people that stays behind the velvet rope. Eventually, I'm going to walk around. And that's me. I know some people, the whole idea of the VIP is to be seen, is to make people feel jealous because, you brokies, you know. I get that vibration 1,000%.
Brokey. Shout out to Lala.
It's a good, you know what I'm saying, vibration to have. To kind of give it like, you wish you could be here. Maybe.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I think within reason, I think in some spaces and places I wish they didn't have it. I would agree, because I do think it takes away. Will and I, where you should put like Will, can you put your face?
I would love for, and I told
Will. Yeah, put it right here. Every time I think about you make your face pop up. Yeah, every time your face come up. Yeah, because I love the off camera when the off cameramen talk. It's great. We were just talking about that in an event we did Saturday at Hardywood with Sounds Funny Band. People were dancing up, and we had. You can call it VIP, but no, it was like you could buy a couch, right? But your couch was right there, but people got up, they danced, they had a great time, and then when they were done, they sat back on their couches. So I understand the whole idea of having a section where we didn't have velvet ropes. So I still offer things, but I try to modify. So even at Brunch, I have these VIP tents. Okay. But really the tents are more for you do not have to carry nothing in there, because the tent is your tent, your table, your chairs. So you can just focus on your food. So me providing that little VIP area, I actually stopped using the word VIP because people were thinking they were owed more than what they really owed. You didn't pay for all that, what you paid for. So now I just call it an on-field experience. And your on-field experience means that I promise you, your tents will be in the front of the semicircle dance floor or whatever. But nah, Shantae might be sitting right in front of you on her little blanket having a time. Yeah. But you got your tent. And you have your area, and that is your protected space. So I would go with VIP, but not as high. If I could, on that same level though, so let's get rid of expensive bottles. See, again, doing events, I count a lot. So I know that bottle of Casamigos, I know how much it costs you. So when you try to charge me $15, by the time I had 2 shots, I've already paid for that bottle. And now we have a problem. So I know they have an old saying where if you have to ask, you can't afford it. But sometimes you have to ask so you don't go broke, because people will try to dupe you. So I would say overpriced shots for stuff that you probably got for a 2-for-1 potentially if your ABC store had a sale.
We're banning overpriced shots.
Overpriced shots in your $1,500
In the 15, that's at 15 or 18.
You're gonna sit on top of the couch and be on your phone, right? And then go like this.
That's dope. Yeah. Yeah, no, but that is you know what? Okay, we can have them in some places, but
yeah.
But yes,
it's a vibe. I'm excited.
Sometimes
it's a good time. Sometimes it's like, all right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This was such a fun interview. I'm gonna wrap it up because I could sit here and talk to you for another 3 hours. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I want you to leave the people with a quote that's been getting you through. It could be a Bible verse, it could be a whatever.
I'm gonna look in the camera when I say it. Did you die?
Ooh.
And I know Will has heard this before. Did you die? Sometimes we get so, and it's like, did you die? Did anybody die? I'm also a big proponent of don't get worked up over things you can't change. So some things you can fix and some things I can't do nothing about it. So if we order some tables and the tables, I can't make the delivery driver no faster. So we just don't have no chairs right now. They get here when they get here. And that's that. So those are my 2 things. Did you die? And focus on what you can change.
Well,
don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do. I love that guy. That's not my quote.
No, that's
the guy the car salesman. I love him.
Don't tell me what you can't do.
Don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do. I love him. I'm gonna show you his commercials. He's great. I think he's like in Colonial Heights or Petersburg or something.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
No, this is dope. Well, y'all already know this episode is about to be on all platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Peace, blessings. Good night.